Hey, how's it going, everybody? We're back outside the Marianos there. We'll see if we can get the live stream back here. We're on Broadway, north of Wellington, Lakeview, Chicago. I was doing my grocery shopping. I saw the connection was cutting in and out, so I just decided to hurry up and finish my grocery shopping, which I did, checked out, and we'll start another live here. We'll see if anybody can join in. I probably alienated everybody there. Sorry about that. There's the Choc merch shop here. Broadway. Hey, we got a person there. Chris, how you doing? Can you see me okay? How you doing there? Thanks for tuning in. Let's see if we get anybody else in here. And welcome to Chicago here. We're up in Lakeview. We did some grocery shopping. And we'll continue on here. There, Nita, thanks for coming back there. I saw my connection was cutting in and out in Mariano's. And so I just wasn't going to deal with it, so I quickly finished my grocery shopping and checked out, and now we're outside here. So you see there's the Marianos we went to there, right across from the Flub-a-Dub Chub there. And yeah, Playa Bowls here. Yeah, some of the businesses got some nice Halloween decorations here. Get your Playa Bowls here. And see, I like Broadway because you got this outdoor seating here. You can just sit out like an outdoor living room. They have a night doing it. Yeah, Owens. Yeah, Boba and dessert there. See how they crochet around the trees there? This one's got it here too. Here's Corzo's. I always like Corzo's because they got water. And Broadway here, Lakeview, Chicago. See how they crochet around the tree there? I like that. Very way to add lots of color to the street. Here's the four-sided framing shop there. They got a little Halloween display here. That's nice. But here's the Cafe Corzo Chicago. I went by here on the marathon day. We had some water there. It was great. So hey, Broadway, Lakeview, Chicago, Broadway Street. It's not the Broadway in New York, Pokegoo. Much more narrow. It's not really broad at all. It does get a little more broad up in Uptown. Uptown, Broadway becomes 4 lanes, but through Argyle and stuff like that. Hey, Carla, thanks for tuning in. Anita, happy Friday. Happy Friday. So I probably alienated everybody there. We had a good number of people tuning in, but when I suddenly ended the live, we lost everybody, and that's my fault. You know, we realize how problematic this all is, where like yesterday at the end of my live at the evening there, I tried to film those Halloween decorations at 2400 Lakeview, and my connection cut out because it was underneath the overhang of that Mies van der Rohe building, and it was like a shadow. But hey, geraniums, I think that's what that is. 549, I think we're on Oakdale. This is Oakdale Street, and we'll head around. There's some nice housing here, Lakeview. Look at those buildings there. They mirror each other, but they have different brick. Christy, how you doing there? Thanks for coming back, everybody. So if you just joined, I was live after the noon hour. We walked up Clark Street and we went to Broadway, and then we went to Mariano's Grocery. I was trying to live stream while I was grocery shopping. I had a really loud shopping cart, and then the connection cut out. People couldn't, it was cutting in and out, so I said, oh, I'll just end the live. I'll start it again when I'm out of the grocery store, and that's what we did. So, hey, happy Friday. October the 17th, 2025. Tomorrow's No King's Day there. October the 18th is going to be nationwide. Masses of people. They're going to label us all Antifa, but I'm already on the list. Doesn't matter. We want to support the people already being affected by it right now. And here's the, wow, there's the ghoul there. Look at that. Here we got Peyton Grizzlies there. Jones College Prep. Yeah, we know where Jones College Prep is. That's downtown there. So hey, to go to Jones College Prep there, you can take transit. There's the nice buildings here on Oakdale. Yeah, proud to be part of the OLMCA family. There you go. Look at these beautiful housing, the towards here. This is Oakdale Street. Yeah, I got to cross the street. This is Better Homes and Gardens over here. See, those are real carved pumpkins. Those are yellow pumpkins, and they're hand carved. They're real carved pumpkins. Hardly anybody takes the time to carve real pumpkins anymore, including me, because it's a big mess. You gotta hollow it out and get all the seeds out and carve it, and and then it doesn't last. But hey, here's Better Homes and Gardens. Look at the beautiful buildings here, and let me show the flowers. They use the median. Look at these flowers, these townhomes. They share the porch. One door goes one way, one door goes the other. They got a garden apartment below. See, there's a unit down there, 2 units above. They got this nice landscape garden with the bird feeder. Look at this. Look at the little mini sunflowers. I like Californians. What you have something against Californians? What's wrong with Californians? I'm not understanding that. Do you have problems with people from Illinois? Do you have problems with people from, Austin, Texas? I sense a pattern here. Here, look at the nice mums there. Mum's the word. Look at the doors. The nice, they paint the brick white. The 500 block of Oakdale here, Lakeview, Chicago. And this is what I call Better Homes and Gardens there. Look at that. See, look, you go down to the garden apartment. You got nice stoops. They share a porch. I know not everybody wants to live like this, but this is an urban lifestyle kind of show here. And this is what we do. We walk around, we look at historic architecture, urban design, how things are laid out, how neighborhoods change over time. We talk about gentrification. We talk about how expensive it is to live in cities, which I can attest to that. I've lived here for over 26 years, and I feel like I'm poorer now than I was. I think a lot of Americans, even though the stock market's up, it's all could evaporate. And the higher the stock market goes, the more expensive everything else becomes. Pine Grove and Oakdale, Lakeview. We got 12:45. I better head back. I'll never make it back to get to work here. But just like last night, we'll probably go out looking for Halloween decorations tonight. I'll probably head north into Lakeview, maybe up to Southport or something, and then we'll start later. We'll start like after 6 o'clock. I'll wait till it gets dark. The magic hour that worked yesterday, so don't look for me at 5 if you're looking for me to do Halloween decorations tonight. Wait till after 6 p.m. Chicago time. Small hall. Hey, we get the pumpkins and the pigeons there. Look at all the apartment buildings here on Pine Grove. M&M, thanks for tuning in there. 3 hours, yeah. Actually, it's 4 hours because Chicago's on Central Time, so you might be on Eastern Time. We got 12:46, so it'll be 5 hours from now I'll start. But hey, you get the little courtyards here. Phil Goodyear, how you doing there? Pizza Lisa, yeah, you know Pizza Lisa, that's good. Lambie T, we're back. Yeah, thanks for coming back, Lambie. My connection was cutting out in the grocery store. I saw people talking about the bad connection, so I said, let me do my grocery shopping, check out, and then I started it again. So thanks for coming back, appreciate it. See, I feel like I killed 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm not just walking around to be walking around. I actually went to the grocery store because we're going to be doing No Kings tomorrow, and we'll probably be downtown all day, and I won't have time to grocery shop. There's Kroger. Mariana's is owned by Kroger there. Look at this beautiful building, this Spanish Revival. Yeah, they're filming the flowers there. We'll go down. See, Pine Grove jogs over just a little bit. We'll go past the Brewster, where Charlie Chaplin briefly lived. That's where they did Child's Play. Hey, I had to look it up. It was The Bride of Chucky. Chucky was the doll in Child's Play, based upon that My Buddy doll, I think. And then they actually, in the late 90s, they did a sequel in the same brand of the Chucky Child's Play movies. And it was The Bride of Chucky. And I think her name was... I had it. It wasn't Jean. It was something else. It was. Does anybody know what the Bride of Chucky's name? But we saw a Halloween display yesterday with her, and she had a little Chucky tattoo. it was cute, and she talked. It was animatronics. But yeah. I work why do people automatically assume I'm unemployed? Because I lean to the left, they think I'm, they want to like project, that I'm like a lazy, unemployed, just living off the government till there. I work for an architecture and engineering firm. I have a full-time salary job. I make 6 figures. I mean, come on, what? I know I don't have a car. I guess just because I don't have a car, people think I'm unemployed, like I live in my car or something. I don't know. You know how expensive it is to live in the city? Do you think I could afford a 1-bedroom apartment in Lincoln Park without having a job? I know. It takes all kinds here. So here, look at hey, look at the nice Richardsonian Romanesque there, the rough-hewn stone there, the patterns. These, again, are row houses. They all share walls. Very energy efficient. These were energy efficient over 100 years ago, and they're energy efficient now. Probably not as energy efficient as new, modern green construction, but they still know how to hold their heat there. And look at these amazing apartment buildings here on Pine Grove. This is Lakeview, Chicago. And look at that amazing entryway. And then here's the Brewster. Here's the Brewster. This goes back to the 1890s. This was an original luxury apartment building. And when it was built, it had views to the lake. There wasn't a bunch of stuff here. They built more buildings towards the lake here. And we're on Pine Grove here at Diversity. Charlie Chaplin briefly lived in this building for 3 months. He slept on his friend's couch when he worked at S&A Studios. They filmed a few Charlie Chaplin movies in New York and Chicago before he moved out to LA. He didn't like Chicago. And see, there you go. So you're in good company with Charlie Chaplin. This is where they filmed Child's Play. You ever see the movie Child's Play? Also Running Scared with Billy Crystal and Gregory Hines. They filmed a shootout police scene in there. But here we'll cross Diversity Parkway. Diversity is dividing line between Lincoln Park and Lakeview. So that's looking west. That's looking east towards the lake, the Mies van der Rohe buildings here. These are beautiful buildings here, almost all 4 corners here. They added those. There's the Brewster there. Look at that amazing building there. 1890s. And it has steel frame construction. And the inside, it's known for having glass block on the stairwell, which allows light to penetrate the interior. And you can see that in those movies. Yeah, JJ. JJ stinks like crap. JJ, the only way... Let's make this channel all about JJ. What's JJ's grievances? Why is JJ so unhappy with the world there? Yeah, we'll try to make you happy here. Just try. We're going to walk through the park, JJ, and we're going to check out the ducks in the pond. Here's the back of the Elks Memorial. You can check out my rerun JJ of my Elks Memorial. It's beautiful. It's free. You can go there between noon and 4 in the summertime and feel like you're in a Roman palace. I bet you the monument that Trump's going to build to his ego for the 250th anniversary of America, which is all about Trump. Trump and America have merged. America's greatness is tied to Trump's greatness. So if Trump needs to be great for America to be great, isn't that awesome? Do you like that? Do you want to send your money? You're gonna send your campaign finance. You're gonna send your campaign support money to Trump because he needs your money, even though he has so much money already. You're gonna support the billionaires with your paycheck there. They lower taxes for people richer than us. So hey, there you go. Look how this building is sunken back there. See, it shows you how the density changed. Eventually, originally there were probably more buildings like that, like on this side. Look at all these Richardsonian Romanesque here. And then in the 20s, the density increased, and then in the 60s and 70s, they built those, and a lot of them have pools at the top. Look what's happening to the Second Church of Christ Scientists. We've been checking out the progress here. Hey, beautiful dog here. So there's the Second Church of Christ Scientists, and they're adding 6 stories to it. And converted into housing adaptive reuse. Hey, you want to join the No Kings there, KJ? They're checking tomorrow. It's going to be if it's going to be real, there might be very huge crowds there tomorrow. The rain might dampen the crowds, but if there's thousands and thousands of people that show up for this thing tomorrow, I'm wondering how my signal is going to hold out, because when we get to Lollapalooza and things like stadiums, sometimes the connection's not good. But and I'm sure they'll be probably jamming the signal of the local cell towers. The good news is CTA rides are going to be free tomorrow. I think they're doing scheduled maintenance for the Venture card, so you'll be able to ride buses and CTA trains for free tomorrow if you're going to the Loop tomorrow for any reason. And then you don't have to carry your phone on with you, because some people are worried about government surveillance and people tracking people. And just by attending our First Amendment right to gather for freedom of speech demonstration for political reasons, we're worried about the government tracking our phones and labeling us as Antifa or anti-fascist. And if you want to label me as anti-fascist, I'm not for fascism in any form. I'm not for communism either, because communism is a form of fascism. It's just fascism on the left. There's fascism on the left and there's fascism on the right. And I'm against both of it. You can be a democratic socialist and still want democracy and the Constitution of the United States. There's still ways to do it. I'd much rather have a mixed economy. I don't totally get rid of capitalism. We still have a capitalist society, capitalist system. I don't want to seize anybody's property. I don't want to take anybody's 401k. I just want a better social safety net and guarantee basic income, so people aren't living paycheck to paycheck and one paycheck away from total disaster if they have a healthcare scare. Here's the witch. Here's the witch. Look at that. How you doing, witch? Is that too much to ask? Is that too much to ask? Here, look at that. Yeah, there's the witch. There's the skeletons. They're climbing up the... This used to be the thresholds. We were up here earlier in the week, right in Lakeview. We'll walk by the North Pond here. We got 1255 Lakeview and Wrightwood. We'll head down here. Hey, thanks for tuning in there. Ernie, thanks for tuning in there. Peace of Lisa there. Yeah, check out Chicago Nuggies there, Ernesto. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, Ernie. It's supposed to rain, but that ain't gonna stop us. And yeah, my plan is to get to the Bean even before noon. I'll text message you when I'm heading down there, and maybe we can meet like 11:30, 11:45. I don't know when you're getting down there. These things, they never start exactly on time, but I was amazed. They almost started the last one we were at. They almost started it on time. And I guess there'll be speakers and stuff. That's what I want to mainly cover. Red Bull and cigarettes. Phil Goodyear, how you doing? That's the Breakfast of Champions right there. Yeah. Nothing's going to stop us now. Yeah. Sheridan, Rapunzel. Rapunzel. Varus, how you doing there? Yeah, America is too expensive. Remember, for the whole last year, Trump says as soon as he was president, right, prices would come down. How you doing there, squirrel? What do you think about? What do you think about inflation? Is the price of acorns going up? I'm gonna try it, Piece of Lisa. I saw that video. Piece of Lisa said, I think it was somebody's brother, and they convinced him to lay down and put a bunch of peanuts on his chest. And the squirrels, she filmed the squirrels slowly gathered and started taking the peanuts, and then eventually they were on his chest, and then they went right up to his face. I'll try the same thing. We'll lay in the grass here, and I'll be attacked by squirrels. How you doing there? Yeah. What do you say there? Like your tail? Yeah, I like the squirrel there, Adrian. Yeah, I like the squirrels. Price acorns. Yeah, everything's going up. What about all this talk? Yeah, the wars are all supposed to be over. I know. We're thankful that there's a tentative end to the Mideast conflict there, Palestinian-Israeli conflict. We'll see if anything comes out of the president meeting with Putin in Hungary. I guess they had a 2-hour phone call. They still seem too chummy, for my opinion. I don't know. I think Trump would rather hang out with Putin than me, and maybe the feeling's mutual. Maybe I'd rather hang out with Putin than Trump. I would rather hang out with Trump than Putin. Trust me, I would not trust Putin. I'm amazed they let Putin get into the beast. They let him get inside the official U.S. vehicle. I don't think Reagan would have did that, even to Gorbachev. But hey, Lincoln Park. There's the Hamilton statue. Here's the North Pond. We got a nice view to the John Hancock. We got a beautiful day, 70 degrees. Thanks for being on. Yeah. Hey, Shady, I like that comment. Yeah. I think you're on to something. Man, Chicago looks good today. It's a little sunnier. But we'll see what it looks like tomorrow. Tomorrow there's going to be a major demonstration in I think all cities, all throughout the United States. No King's Day. October the 18th, I guess it's noon. I don't know what time it is where you're at. And I know not everybody's for it. They're going to label us all as dissidents and terrorist organizations. Here's the North Pond. Yeah, look at this view. You get the Chicago skyline here from the North Pond. North Pond Cafe's here. This is a nice dining spot. You can make reservations there. I think they valet cars. Yeah, Andrew Top G Tate. Thanks, Christopher. Yeah, see, we got that going for us. Hey, there's a turtle on that log. Look, there's a turtle out there. Yeah, maybe we might see some turtles here in the pond. There's wildlife here. Talking too loud here. There's the North Pond Cafe. Look how they got the plants on the top. Wichita, Staffenburg, how you doing there? Yeah, protesting's for terrorists. Well, I guess I'm a terrorist then. Are you more scared of me or undocumented immigrants? It's not funny. I'm becoming a nihilist. But here, let's head through the park here. Let's walk through the trees here. How you doing there? Yeah, see, Ernie's got his own streaming to do. Yeah, thanks for dropping in there. You see where we're at here. And we're doing good here. Appreciate it. We'll head under the pine trees here. See some more squirrels here. But I like Lincoln Park here. Look at all the space we got. The park district mows the grass. Sometimes there's a tightrope walker sets up a line here in between these trees in this little valley, this little dip they walk, practice. So if they fall off the line, they don't fall that far. And here, we'll head around here. Yeah, 101 p.m. there. Angel Love, how you doing there? Your parents are from Kansas, South Dakota. Hey, see we got people with roots in the Midwest there. There's Omaha, Kansas, North Dakota, South Dakota. Yeah, the turtles are out sunning themselves. Look at that. We'll get closer to them. There's some turtles on that log there. And we went by Tin Lizzie. You can watch turtle races. Hey, there's a turtle right there. Hey, there's 3 of them right there. Yeah, I think Americans, we should not expect to be constantly asked for our papers all the time. What do you want to live in, like East Germany, like under the Iron Curtain, I'm proud of my fellow Americans because this is showing you people resisting. And I'm sure people would do this if a left-wing government would try to do this as well. I'm sure you would resist if a left-wing socialist government would bring masked people into your community from a different state using their private cars to drive around and remove people they don't want in our country. And yes, the people broke the law, just like the war on drugs, but it still destroys communities, intimidates people. It causes havoc in the communities where they're roaming around. If ICE wrecks into your car, who do you sue? The citizens are blowing whistles and showing them what they really think of them, which is good. This is the same spirit of the Revolutionary War, where people would not accept the tyranny of a foreign king or outsiders coming into your community, because we have home rule. We have separation of powers. The governors control the National Guard, and there's limits to the executive branch. And all these Americans that are conceding power to the executive branch, to me, that's a traitorous thing. We want Congress to be able to do oversight. We want somebody to oversee Congress. We want. I'm glad that a judge ruled that ICE has to wear body cams. I am very angry at the current administration for not requiring that as a part of this. They don't want people to see what's going on. They don't want people to be filmed. They want to intimidate people so they don't film them and what it looks like when families are ripped apart and mothers are screaming and they're pushing women down in courthouses, and it just looks, it's a bad image for America. If you think this is a good image for America, watch American tourism dry up, and it's going to hurt Las Vegas. Luckily Chicago's tourism is doing okay, because a lot of Chicago's tourism is domestic tourism, people from within the United States coming. We've lost a lot of Canadian tourism to Chicago, and I lament that, and I don't blame Canadians. Canadians messaged me. They were afraid to come run in the marathon because of ICE. And, you know, I don't blame them, because it's a bad image for America. You know, if other countries were doing this, just like when Russia sent unmasked, unmarked, they weren't marked as soldiers into Crimea. That's what this reminds me of. Yeah. So here, let's check out the turtles here. If you don't like me talking about it, you want to live in denial like it's not happening, we got to talk about it. Look at this woolly worm. I know it bothers people. People want to escape. They just want to, we want to just, you know, live our own lives in peace and harmony, but there's chaos always injected in the world. We have to react to it. So AAP, I've lived in Chicago for 26 years. I don't think it's as bad as you make it out to be. Yes, there are impoverished neighborhoods in Chicago, but there's impoverished neighborhoods in every city. Yes, there's crime in Chicago, but it's not the hellscape that the president makes it out to be. I walk in some of these neighborhoods. Some of my fellow live streamers, they live in these neighborhoods. They grew up in these neighborhoods. And, you know, Keys Carter, he grew up in Chatham and Inglewood. Ernie grew up on the, you know, his family has roots in Pilsen. Multiple generations. He lives in Archer Heights on the southwest side, you know. Nia comes from the south. Nia comes from the south side. Not Nia Papaya. Nia, the live streamer. And J City Walking Girl. She covers Hyde Park. She's gone to Beverly. She's gone to Pill Hill. Who knows where Pill Hill's at? You know, Southsiders, you know. We've gone to Pullman. Chris and I have. Here's the frog pond here. We're in Lincoln Park. But I've never gotten so much free advice from people that don't know what's really going on. And I'm the same way. Sometimes I give bad advice. Sometimes I'm wrong with what I'm saying. Take it with a grain of salt. This is just a little vlog. It's not like I'm a major media company. It's not like I'm a lawyer. It's not like I'm impacting your life in any way. You know, this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm pretty benign. Live and let live. That's not what's going on. It's like the old Chinese curse, may you live in interesting times. But here, we'll head through here, we'll cross the bridge, I'll head back and we'll get some work done. Yeah, I'm propaganda. Yeah, George Soros is paying me. George Soros is paying me 2 cents an hour to spread this filth. It's all George Soros' fault. You see how they're indicted Comey? They indicted the other guy with the mustache. That wouldn't surprise me if they indict George. Well, George Soros is not an American citizen, so there's the Friedman family. Or is he? I don't know. I think he's from Europe. Chicago's not being destroyed. That is not a true statement. We are not destroying our own city. We love Chicago. You might not like it, but we're not destroying it. You're the one tearing us down. I don't even know where you live, and I accept you. Why won't you accept us? I'm tired of even talking about it. It's not even worth it. Your opinion means zero to me, so I'm going to move on. It's just your opinion. No one cares. No one cares about my opinion. No one cares about your opinion. We're just creating engagement for the social media companies so they can profit off of this and sell an advertisement. That's all we're doing here. It has no, at least I have some real social connection with the real Chicagoans that tune in and say hello in the street. And that to me has more value than anything that is said, from a million miles away. We meet people in the street, they say hello. Chicagoans are friendly, they talk, they're not to be feared. We're not all gang members. Fine, create this Judgment Day narrative. You're just scared. And the government wants you to scare. The government wants to scare me. The government wants to scare you into silence, submission, and acquiescence. They want us to just submit and not ask questions. But we're Americans. We ask questions. Look at the North Pond here. Here's the casting pier. Hey, let's walk across these rocks here. Sometimes we see a crane or something here. Thanks, Callie. Call me Fat. Hey, Zeus, how you doing there? Yeah, look at that, taking pictures there. So here, we'll head around. How you doing? So hey, yeah, they got the aerate there, the casting pier. There's the Peggy Nodebart Nature Museum. We'll head through. Hey, we got some fall leaves here. It's finally starting to look like fall a little bit here. 70 degrees. I'll wait till after 6 o'clock. We'll tootle around. We'll look for some more Halloween decorations, and then tomorrow we'll do the No Kings, October the 18th. If you plan on tuning in and writing a nasty comment, go ahead and do it. I'm not even going to be looking at the comments tomorrow, so I'm not even going to engage with the comments. I already told the team that. We'll just let it fly so we can see 10 years from now who made statements and who's associated with hate speech and who's associated with just bashing other Americans for exercising their First Amendment rights. We will all go on record, and then the government can see, and then they can tell you're not Antifa because you're right against it, but it'll boost my algorithm, and we'll get hundreds and hundreds of people tuning in, screaming and yelling at their screen there. So it's great. Isn't America great? To me, America's just turning into a place everybody's yelling and screaming, arguing with each other, arguing on planes, screaming at each other in the street, scaring the kids. What is so great about this? Yeah, go worship your stock market winnings. Go in your big McMansion there and turn on the TV and eat some Pizza Hut. There you go. So God bless America. We'll see you tomorrow at the No Kings, noon, Butler Field, and then we'll do the Halloween parade. Okay, have a good rest of your day there. Appreciate it. Yeah, Lambie, thanks for being on. Peace, Elisa, Angela, Maverick. Yeah, talk to you later. Okay, bye. Yeah, lots of info. You can rewind and pause it. See you, Wes. Thanks for being on. Christy and Krista. T-Lock, yeah. Emma Bonsai. Call me Fatty Zeus. Thanks for being on. Misha. Phil Goodyear. Yeah, thanks for being on. Appreciate everybody. AAP. Yeah, no pigs. Talk to you later. Okay, bye. I'll become a vegetarian.